Hi, and welcome back to the boat here on the Red Sea here in Hurghada. Now today we're going to talk about snorkeling. Now there are some basic rules with snorkeling that you need to follow. Now a lot of people, they get a snorkel, jump in the water, put it on and go. If you're lucky, it will work. If you're not so lucky, it won't work and you'll have a bad experience. So there are some things that you need to do before you jump in the water, okay? Now the first thing is when you're
Yes, my friend.
This is our Egyptian photographer who is here, and you can see his camera. Show them your camera. Okay, we're talking about snorkeling.
Yeah, and I have glass.
He's very cool.
Very good.
So today we're going to talk about snorkeling. Now there's something you need to do. The first thing that happens is it steams up. Hi Kay, welcome to the video. So you have to use something natural that you have in your mouth for free. A lot of people just dunk it in the water. It's not good enough, it will still steam up. So what you have to do is take some saliva and put in your goggles, okay? Saliva. Now the reason this works obviously is because it's thicker than water and will stay there and it will stay on the glass and stop it from steaming up. So that's the first thing you need to do. Now the second thing you need to do is try it on. Now it's really important that it sticks, so it needs to be the right size. So put it on, adjust these if you need to, and what you need to do is put it there and push, okay? If it sticks to your face, it's the right size. If it doesn't stick, look like here, it's just not sticking, it's either the wrong size or these are not the right length, okay? So you have to play around with it and you need to check this before you go in the water. If you do this in the water, it's like really difficult and really confusing, okay? So that's the first thing you need to do to make sure your mask is correct. Also make sure obviously your snorkel is attached, and then what you need to do, hi, we're doing a live video. Welcome to our video. This is one of our snorkeling friends. Okay, the next thing you need to do, you need to bite here. If you have a look at here, you need to... So, when you hit it, you can breathe, okay? So it's really important that you know how to breathe with this. So have a test off the water. If you've got notice, like a day or two before, then it will be great to actually test it in the swimming pool and practice. Because again, once you jump in off the boat, it can be quite scary and a little bit freaky, you know, it's a bit of a shock. So to try and breathe and see and be in the open water all at one time is quite scary, okay? So that's the most important thing, because so if you're confident with your snorkel and your goggles, then you will be, be better when you jump in. So from there, coral. Now the most important thing about the coral is it's dangerous, guys. So you have to remember that. And although it looks beautiful, nice colours and nice shapes, if you actually touch it with your hand or with your foot, it will cut you directly, okay? So don't let that scare you. You need to go close to it to see how beautiful it is with the nice fish, but you also need to remember that it is really, really dangerous. So you should not step on the coral, okay? Now the best thing, I can float because I'm so big, which is a great advantage for me. If you can't float, then you're better having a buoyancy aid. And when you're really close, if you want to go really close to the coral and see it, you have to float. So do like nice gentle swimming and actually float over the coral. Again, if you're not so confident at swimming or not so confident with the coral, I wouldn't advise going too close, just stay a little bit away. But again, people have really serious injuries from the coral, so you have to really bear that in mind because it is really, really dangerous. And the next thing, when you go off the boat, you have to go against the current. So you have to go towards the current, so when you're feeling tired and you want to come back to the boat, then let the tide bring you. Also when you're on the boat, they'll give you instructions like remember the name of the boat, because there's always lots of boats out there, etc, etc. But that was our basic guide to snorkeling. If you want to buy a snorkel at home and have a little practice with it, they do sell them a lot as well, and again, hygiene wise, it is quite good to do that. There are some new snorkels, I don't know whether you've seen them, with look like some sort of gas mask, but that's quite cool. I haven't tried it myself, but Andrea's tried it and my friends, and they love it. So I'm going to go now because we're almost back here. Thank you everybody for joining us. Julia's loving the bit of spit. And we'll see you again back on Facebook Live very soon. But it's goodbye from Hurghada. I will show you where we are. So if you look, you can see the boats next to us here. You can see this side. So goodbye from Hurghada.